USC Jay. It's your boy Jakeem. Really appreciate what you do for USC culture, man. Keep going.
Going on, shout out USC Jay, man. Appreciate the support. Shout out to USC Jay. You know what it is. Thanks for love, man.
Trojan Felly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, happy Friday to everybody. Look, you guys know we got a big time game coming up next week, but we're off this week. So there's a lot of time for a lot of people to have a lot of conversation about what took place last weekend. But listen, USCJ has officially, I moved on from it. Look, man, I'm going to start labeling some people the Sky is Falling podcast, because at the end of the day, I think a lot of people feed off of a negative energy. You guys know me, the negative energy, man, it just it's not up in there for me, man. It's like, even, look, I'm going to tell you guys like this, even in your own life, when things happen that you don't like, how long do you sit there and ponder on it? How long do you sit there and dwell on it? Do you continue to be lost in the sauce? Or do you continue to say within yourself or within your mind, listen, a mistake happened, something happened, and we got to move on from it? Do you approach your own life like that? Or do you just approach it like that when you want to, or selectively approach it like that with something like this that's taking place now? Because I've never seen so many people pile on one team that's 4-1 right now, a team that has the opportunity to still make it, believe it or not, to the college football playoff. Now, when you look at the way the schedule sets up, I think USC has an opportunity. Now, there's something I really want to ask. And well, let me say this. It's a statement I really want to say. Be careful what you ask for, because at the end of the day, you will get what you ask for. Now, what I mean by that is there are a lot of people already, believe it or not, and I can't even believe it. I can't even believe these words are coming out of my mouth. But there are a lot of people right now that are literally calling for Lincoln Riley's job. Can you believe that? After one game, Lincoln Riley's job, they're listening to a lot of outside noise, and people are saying, look, it's not going to work. This has been like this. I mean, what are we going to do? Let's sit back and take a look at this for a second. And I've talked about this on multiple different occasions. This is the fourth year for Lincoln Riley. And I think when you look at it as a whole, he's did everything. And when I mean everything that this fan base has really asked, and it's not that they operate off of what the fan base is asking, but more so everything that people have been putting in the chats, that people have been kind of expressing themselves that they would desire to see. Fired Alex Grinch. You guys remember, kept Alex Grinch, they said he kept Alex Grinch too long. And what did he do? He fired Alex Grinch, who happened to be his kids' godparents. And he ended up firing them. Then he let go other staff. He let go Odom, who was his linebacker coach, right? He let go the defensive end coach, Roy Manning. He let him go. Everything that Lincoln Riley really associated himself with and was very familiar with, they're no longer here anymore. Even Benny Wiley was let go. They said, look, Benny Wiley was, this is what they said. I'm not saying it. Benny Wiley was too soft. You need to get a tougher guy. So he hired Coach True. He hired Coach Deanton Lynn. Everybody praised Deanton Lynn. He hired Eric Henderson. Everybody raved about that. All these podcasts, these are all the hirings that other podcasts raved about. Now they're complaining and crying about. Listen, at the end of the day, man, we got to understand that, look, there is a process that takes place. And, nothing just happens overnight. No excuses, but at the end of the day, listen, we still have a full season to play. Do you not realize these players look at all this stuff that's being put out there on social media? Never in my wildest dreams or in my life would I have seen that this much stuff gets put out on social media, and it's absolutely insane because, yeah, the players watch this stuff. Even B. Shaw, when he was on here the other day, he said himself, look, man, they go right to Twitter sometime and they look at this stuff. Man, listen, at some point we got to say to ourselves, man, look, put your big boy pants on. Stop crying. Yeah, I said it. Stop crying. Let the season play out. Let's support these kids, and let's really understand that, look, USC still has an opportunity. The sky is not falling. And the reason I say be careful what you ask for, because when you look at it from a whole, I'm gonna take it like this. When you look at historically, college football, whether it's having a Nick Saban that's been there for years, or whether it's having a Urban Meyer, certain coaches come around, even a Pete Carroll, certain coaches come around every so often. It's a rarity. Why you think that, so many fan bases are doing what some of our fan bases doing right now, absolutely going crazy. But you got to really be objective. And here's a comment, man, that came from the podcast yesterday. And this is an intelligent podcast. Comment. And I meant to put this up, man. I meant to put this up so you guys can see it. But I'm gonna read it to you, man. This is coming from Dan Berman. He says here's my prediction. He says we beat Michigan 34-20. We lose to Notre Dame 27-20. We beat Iowa 27-17. We beat Nebraska 34-31. We beat Northwestern 37-20. We lose to Oregon 45-28. This is a 9-3 season. He says, I had us originally going 8-4. He says, but I have flipped the Nebraska to a win. The game against Michigan will determine our season. If we lose, then we will slide to a 7-6. I think the D-line will be much better and stack up. I think the way they played last week was a weird anomaly. A weird anomaly. The way they played last week, was a weird anomaly. Maybe they were sick. I think the secondary will play a little better with some of the injury players coming back, Graham and Ramsey. He says this, going back to safety, he will make a difference. He also says this, so if the D-line shows up, we should go 5-2, and I can respect it, remaining of the season. So look, here's the thing. I think that was an objective comment. I think we have to really lock in and focus and really understand. Listen, the sky is not falling. It's not. It's really not falling. This team is gonna fight back. USCJ gonna continue to support this team, and we're gonna win some games, man. So look, hit me in the comments, man. You guys tell me what you think. I'm out of here, man. Until later on, fight on, fight on, fight on.